Indians teaching the world to guard its oceans. South Africa, many languages, one unfinished journey towards belonging. Tanzania, where Kiswahili carries African thought across borders. Zambia, one shore of Musiwatunya, the smoke that thunders. Zimbabwe, the other shore, an ancient civilization of stone. SADC, 16 nations, one region, many ways of carrying light, relatives remembering each other. The land activated us, we activated the land, and now today we remember together.
Sanbonani. Sanbonani. Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai shebeleza njalo mama ebuseni mama nasambama hayi Congo mama Congo mama hayi Congo mama Congo shebeleza njalo ebuseni mama nasambama hayi shebeleza njalo mama ebuseni mama nasambama Rapi babu Jomo Feda ebuseni mama Eshe Kitchen. Man, it's sleep, voilà.
This has reaffirmed our shared responsibility to safeguard peace, security and stability as essential prerequisites for sustainable development and regional integration. Your Majesty, Excellencies, the situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo remains a matter of concern. We welcome the progress reported through diplomatic engagements and the African-led peace initiatives. We trust that these initiatives bear fruits of peace, of coexistence, social harmony, and economic progress, rather than reverse the gains already achieved by previous interventions. SADC remains steadfast in its solidarity with the government and the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo and reaffirms its commitment to supporting efforts to restore peace, protect civilians, and create conditions conducive to sustainable development. We also extend our solidarity to the government and the people of the DRC as well as they contend with the Ebola outbreak. Our heartfelt condolences go to the families and communities who have lost loved ones. Our deep appreciation goes to the dedicated healthcare workers who continue to sacrifice their very own lives to serve and save others. And to our partners, including the Africa SADC, the World Health Organization, among many others, for coordinating and supporting the response efforts. This outbreak, however, is a stark reminder of the importance of strengthening regional cooperation in health security, disease surveillance, preparedness, and coordinated and swift response as a community. SADC remains committed to supporting member states in building resilient health systems capable of effectively addressing current and emerging public health challenges. We are equally encouraged by the positive dialogue taking place in the Republic of Madagascar through efforts of the SADC Secretariat, the panel of elders, and the mediation reference group. Such efforts continue to strengthen trust, consensus building, and inclusive governance. Your Majesty, Excellencies, our region is also affected by the frequent and rapidly changing global environment, which is characterized by economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, technological transformation, and shifting geopolitical realities. These occurrences are increasingly reminding us of why we exist as a community and why we must expedite our own integration. We now realize that we can no longer depend on others elsewhere, but on ourselves, that we need each other more and must depend on each other more, and so must trust each other more. Equally, an increasingly interconnected world, in an increasingly interconnected world, no country can realize its full potential in isolation. Our strength lies in working together, trading together, investing together, and building together. Your Excellencies, I believe that we have a duty to create this reality and future for ourselves. As the global economy transitions towards clean energy, digital technologies, and advanced manufacturing, SADC is uniquely positioned to play a strategic role. The region is endowed with abundant reserves of critical minerals, including platinum group metals, lithium, cobalt, graphite, manganese, rare earth elements, and copper, all of which are essential to the industries of the future. Our ambition must be to move beyond the export of raw materials and position SADC as a globally competitive center for beneficiation, value addition, manufacturing, innovation, and indeed the industrialization we are pursuing. However, the challenge for us as a region is not a lack of these resources, nor is it that we don't know their potential to transform our economies and change our fortunes. It is not even that we have not talked about them in the past and made commitments to change the trajectory. The challenge is, when do we stop them to transporting them in raw form and start adding value to them and creating sustainable jobs and wealth? Once more, we do not need permission from anyone to start this process. Let us start now. Your Majesty, Excellencies, industrialization remains central to achieving structural transformation, economic diversification, job creation, poverty reduction, and improved living standards. However, industrialization cannot succeed without modern and reliable infrastructure. Robust and sustainable energy systems, refreshed and reliable transport networks, ports and logistics platforms, and cost-effective digital connectivity are indispensable enablers of industrialization and ultimately competitiveness and economic growth. Agriculture also remains a cornerstone of many of our economies and a source of livelihoods for millions of our citizens. Despite climate-related changes, member states continue to invest in irrigation, mechanization, climate-smart agriculture, improved seed systems, and agro-processing. These efforts have strengthened resilience and contributed to improvements in food security across the region and to the reduction of food insecurity by 16%. To fully unlock the potential of the agricultural sector, we must continue investing across its entire value chain, from production and processing to storage, transport, and to market access. Doing so will enhance food security, create jobs, and drive inclusive growth. This vision that I just painted is reflected in the theme of this summit, which reads, and I quote, "Resilient, sustainable, inclusive industrialization through infrastructure development, agricultural and critical minerals transformation in pursuit of a just world." End of quote. It captures the aspirations of our region and underscores the importance of building resilient economies capable of creating opportunities for all. Your Majesty, Excellencies, the success of our region will depend largely on its people, particularly our youth. As technological changes accelerates and economies become increasingly knowledge-driven, it is imperative that our young people are equipped with the skills, education, and opportunities necessary for them to thrive. Investment in quality education, technical and vocational skills development, digital literacy, innovation, entrepreneurship, science and technology must therefore remain among our regional priorities. We must create an enabling environment that empowers young women and men to participate meaningfully in economic transformation. Supporting youth-led enterprises, expanding access to finance and technology, and creating pathways to decent employment will be critical to our long-term success. We therefore, at this juncture, wish to extend our congratulations to His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa and his team, led by Honorable Pax Tau, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, on the successful hosting of the 9th SADC Industrialization Week. Over the years, the SADC Industrialization Week has become the region's premier platform for dialogue between governments, the private sector, investors, innovators, and development partners. The recommendations emerging from this year's edition should help the region implement the SADC industrialization strategy and promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth. As we celebrate the SADC Day today, we should remain optimistic and resolute in advancing regional integration. We should continue building a region that is united in purpose, resilient in the face of challenges, and steadfast in advancing the prosperity and dignity of all its people. We should build a SADC where peace prevails, economies grow, industries flourish, trade expands, and young people thrive, and opportunities reach every community. On behalf of the SADC Secretariat, I wish to congratulate His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa as he assumes the chair of SADC today. We pledge our full support and unwavering commitment to facilitate His Excellency to execute his mandate effectively and successfully. We are confident, sir, that under your decorated leadership, SADC will continue to advance its vision of a peaceful, resilient, industrialized, prosperous, and integrated Southern Africa. We extend our appreciation to our member states, cooperating partners, stakeholders, and citizens whose support and continuous contributions continue to strengthen our community and brings us closer to our shared vision of a peaceful, prosperous, and integrated Southern Africa. We also extend gratitude to the dedicated staff of the SADC Secretariat, led by my two deputies, for their professionalism, expertise, and commitment to implementing summit decisions, especially in advancing the regional integration agenda. Your Majesty, Excellencies, I wish you fruitful deliberations and every success in this summit today. I thank you for your attention. Merci beaucoup. Muito obrigado. Asante sana. Que aleluia.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Executive Secretary, Mr. Mahosi. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, I now have the honor to call to the podium His Excellency, Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa.
Zimbabwe's support to co-hosting sectoral ministerial meetings helped to ensure continuity in the work of our community. We likewise acknowledge Zambia, the members of the Troika, and the SADC Secretariat and all member states for the cooperation and collective leadership they have demonstrated. The story of SADC is a story of the triumph of solidarity over division and adversity. Before we became a development community, we were a community of solidarity. The peoples of this region stood together against colonialism, against minority rule, and against apartheid. The countries of Southern Africa endured aggression, destabilization, and immense economic hardship because they understood that no country in this region could be truly free while another remained oppressed. Together, the people of our region overcame colonial rule and apartheid. Together, we transformed Southern Africa from a region marked by conflict and oppression into a community founded on peace, on democracy, cooperation, and a common future. Today, our task is to give economic and social meaning to that political liberation. We are a community of 16 nations and more than 430 million people, with a GDP that is edging towards $1 trillion shortly. We possess abundant mineral resources, as our executive secretary said, vast agricultural potential, a youthful population, a growing industrial and technological capability. We have made important progress in the previous years. The SADC Free Trade Area has created a platform for greater regional commerce. The SADC Real-Time Gross Settlement System facilitates cross-border payments and draws our economies much closer together. Through the Southern African Power Pool, member states share electricity infrastructure and resources across national borders. Through regional cooperation, we are strengthening our collective capacity to prevent conflict, to address instability, to support democratic governance, and to respond to political and security challenges. Through the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization, we are strengthening disease surveillance, pandemic preparedness, and health security across our region. The importance of this cooperation is demonstrated by the devastating Ebola outbreak caused by the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. At the latest count, nearly 5,000 confirmed cases have been recorded and more than 2,300 lives have been lost. Behind every number is a human life, is a family. Behind every statistics is a family and a household that continues to experience sadness and grief. Behind every number is an anxious community and a health worker placing their own life at risk to save others. And on behalf of our government and the people of Southern Africa, we express our deepest condolences to the government and to the people of the Democratic Republic of the Congo as they go through this devastating pandemic. We commend the courage of Congolese health workers. We appreciate the leadership of the government of the DRC The Africa CDC, especially Dr. Kaseya, who is here, who is the Director General of this Africa CDC and the World Health Organization, working with regional and international partners to coordinate the response. But the outbreak continues to outpace our efforts. We must do much more, and we commend the government of the DRC of doing what they are doing, monitoring the development of this virus. We must act with urgency, all of us, and we call for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the affected that are presented by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. In the end, SADC must become a powerful platform from which our businesses can access a continental market of more than 1.4 billion people that reside on our continent. But this will require us to remove non-tariff barriers, improve border management, harmonize standards, and make it easier for goods, services, capital, and skills to move across our region. Our decisions must also be implemented. They must be properly costed, they must be funded, assigned, and monitored. Our communiques must become construction sites, factories, power lines, water systems, laboratories, businesses, and create jobs for our young people. Regional integration must be seen and felt in the daily lives of our people. Now, in the end, none of this will be possible without peace, security, and stability. Peace without development is fragile. Development without peace is impossible. We must continue to invest in preventative diplomacy, mediation, and political dialogues to solve political challenges and problems. We must strengthen the work of the SADC panel of elders, the organ troika, and our regional institutions. We must also resolve differences that may exist through dialogue, uphold our shared democratic principles, and act collectively whenever the peace and stability of our region are threatened. We have done so in the past. Our community, in the end, is like a river system. Every member state of our 16 countries is a tributary with its own history, its own identity, its own character, its own strength. When those separate currents come together, they become a powerful force that carries opportunity across borders and sustains all in its path. A tributary does not lose its identity when it joins a great river. It gains reach, depth, and power, and flows strongly. In the same way, regional integration does not diminish our sovereignty. It multiplies our collective capacity to secure the well-being of the people of Southern Africa. Our community must therefore become more than the sum of its member states. It must have the institutional strength, the authority, and resources to advance our common interests and realize our shared vision. I would like to see this summit to be remembered, not merely for the declarations that we will adopt, but for the decisions that we implement. Let this summit in Durban, the city in which the African Union was launched, become the place where SADC renewed its determination to build a truly integrated regional economy. And we must turn our borders into bridges, and we must turn our resources into industries, and we must turn our youthful population into a powerful democratic dividend that will benefit all the peoples of Southern Africa. And we must turn this solidarity that has been so strong over the years into a shared prosperity. And this summit must therefore inspire a new era of regional integration that delivers dignity, opportunity, and the hope of every citizen of Southern Africa. Let this summit affirm our commitment to peace, security, and democracy. We should emerge from this summit stronger, with resolve to build diversified industries and resilient economies. And so, in the end, we must move forward as SADC and implement the SADC Vision 2050, which is about a peaceful, inclusive, competitive, and prosperous region in which no country and no person is left behind. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to declare the 46th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community officially opened. And I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Majesty, Excellencies, we will now listen to a short statement from His Excellency, Dr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, who is unable to join us this morning, but we will have sent a short video clip for this occasion. Your Excellencies.
Your Excellency, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of the Republic of South Africa, and incoming Chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and the outgoing Chairperson of SADC. Your Majesties, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government. Your Excellency, Mr. Elias Magozi, the Executive Secretary of SADC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to address the 46th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community. I would have wished to join you in Durban. I'm, however, pleased to be represented by Her Excellency Lerato Mataboge, the African Union Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy. I conveyed through her the full commitment of the African Union Commission to SADC and its member states. Allow me to commend the Republic of Zimbabwe for its leadership of SADC over the past year, and to congratulate the Republic of South Africa as it assumes the chairmanship of the community. I also commend the Republic of Malawi for its stewardship of the organ. Excellencies, SADC has long been a pillar of Africa's integration project. Its contribution to peace and security, regional integration, infrastructure, development, and economic transformation extends well beyond Southern Africa and contributes directly to the realization of Agenda 2063. I'm therefore particularly encouraged by the strengthening of cooperation between the African Union Commission and SADC. In line with the 2021 revised protocol on relations between the African Union and the regional economic communities, our collaboration has become more regular, substantive, and operational. We have seen this in our closer coordination on peace and security challenges, including in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Madagascar. Consultations between the leadership of the African Union Commission and the regional economic communities have also become more regular, while our mid-year coordination meetings are increasingly focused on substantive issues of coordination, implementation, and complementarity. We must build on this progress. More than 3 decades ago, the Abuja Treaty recognized that Africa's integration would be built through its regional economic communities. Our responsibility today is to make that architecture work more effectively. This requires greater clarity of responsibilities, stronger complementarity, and less duplication between the African Union, the regional economic communities, and member states. This is why completing the ongoing exercise on the division of labor is so important. Its effective implementation should provide a clearer framework for determining responsibilities and ensuring that our respective institutions reinforce one another. This is not simply an institutional exercise. It is about making our union more effective and ensuring that our decisions translate into concrete results for the African people. I therefore welcome the increasing involvement of member states in this process. Excellencies, SADC is already making an important contribution to this effort. As chair of the Inter-Regional Economic Community Coordination Platform, SADC is helping to strengthen cooperation among Africa's regional economic communities and regional mechanisms. Its contributions within the AGA-APSA platform is also helping to strengthen synergies between our continental governance, peace and security architectures. I wish in this regard to recognize the valuable work of the SADC permanent representation to the African Union in Addis Ababa, whose sustained engagement has contributed to the closer cooperation we see today. The challenges facing Africa increasingly transcend national and regional boundaries. Our response must therefore be equally coordinated. A strong African Union needs strong regional economic communities, and strong regional economic communities needs an African Union capable of ensuring continental coherence and advancing our common priorities. As South Africa assumes the chairmanship of SADC, I look forward to working closely with His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa and the other heads of state and government of the region to further deepen this partnership. Together, let us build an African institutional architecture that is clearer in its responsibilities, stronger in its coordination, and above all, more effective in delivering for our peoples. I wish you fruitful deliberations and every success for this 46th Ordinary Summit. Long live SADC, long live the African Union, and long live Africa. I thank you.
Our sincere appreciation for that video message. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, we will now listen to a statement from His Excellency, Mr. Clever Gatete, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Your Excellency.
It's always difficult to speak after the strong message by the President and the Executive Secretary of the SADC. Your Majesty King Mswati III of Eswatini, Your Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and the incoming Chairperson of SADC, and our gracious host, Your Excellency Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and the outgoing chair of the SADC, Excellencies, heads of state and government here present, honorable ministers and heads of delegations, Your Excellency Reyes Mahosi, Executive Secretary of SADC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to join you today at the 46th Ordinary Summit of SADC heads of state and government. I commend the government and people of South Africa for their warm hospitality and congratulate SADC Secretariat under the leadership of the Executive Secretary, Elias Mahosi, for convening the summit under the crucial theme, Resilient, Sustainable and Inclusive Industrialization through Infrastructure Development, Agricultural and Critical Minerals Transformation in Pursuit of a Just World. Your Excellency, our meeting takes place at a critical time in the world. Technological innovation, climate crisis, shifting geopolitics, and the reconfiguration of global supply chains are reshaping trade, investment, and industrial production. Meanwhile, development aid is declining. Concessional resources are becoming scarce, and borrowing costs are rising. The crisis in the Middle East is further adding pressure by disrupting routes, trade routes, raising energy, food, and fertilizer price volatility, fueling inflation, eroding the value of the African currencies, and tightening financing conditions. In response, global nations are investing in advanced manufacturing, food systems transformation, energy security, including clean energy, digitization, and strategic industries. So where does Africa fit in this new economic order? For generations, the continent has supplied the world with raw and semi-finished commodities while receiving a disproportionately small share of the massive wealth created from the sector. Africa exports minerals, others manufacture batteries, electric vehicles, and renewable energy technologies. Africa exports agricultural commodities, others process, package, and market higher value food products. Africa also imports significant quantities of fertilizer despite possessing natural gas, phosphates, potash, and industrial capacity. This pattern limits job creation, weakens resilience, and constrains structural transformation. Are we going to continue exporting raw materials while others capture the higher value stages of production, or shall we become a competitive?
All right, it's the 46th Ordinary Summit of the Southern African Development Community, known as SADC, happening in Durban, South Africa. And of course, we've heard numerous speeches, and I think very important is the speech we heard from the president of South Africa, talking about the importance of beneficiation and how that only about 20% of regional trade has been happening, and they would have to expand that. But of course, our international correspondent is right there. Bongani Sinsiba, thank you so much for joining us today and bring us up to speed with what's happening currently over there and what the mood is in the room.
A very good morning to you and also our NC viewers. What a pregnant opening ceremony speech from the South African president, that is Cyril Ramaphosa, speaking on how SADC can come together and be a formidable part in the region, speaking about the security matters, health matters, speaking about what we are seeing in the DRC where there is Ebola and a variety of issues that he spoke about. But let me just quickly bring in the spokesperson to the South African president, that is Vincent Magwenya. Thank you for joining us here at News Central TV. What a speech from the president. What are some of the takeaways that you can take us through?
Well, the takeaways are we need to accelerate regional integration, and it needs to be a concept and a commitment that begins to deliver tangible benefits to the people in the region, to all our 16 economies, and more importantly, it needs to deliver hope to millions of young people in the region. As you know, we are a sub-region and mostly a continent and a country that's well endowed with a youthful jobs that needs opportunities. And so a key takeout is that out of this grouping, out of this summit, we depart with a clear roadmap on how we're going to accelerate regional integration from a reindustrialization point of view, a food security, a peace and security perspective, with all of those themes as they are reflected in this year's summit's theme.
South Africa is taking over the chairmanship. What are some of the things that South Africa is hoping to achieve?
Well, as I said, the focus is going to be alleviating food insecurity, championing regional development, advancing the economies of the region so that the economic benefits are spread out throughout the sub-region, forging ahead with ensuring that we sustain peace and security, and where we still have a degree of volatility, we are able to intervene and stabilize those parts of the sub-region.
The president also spoke about economic integration, that is trade amongst the southern African countries. But recently we have seen anti-migrant protests, one that is happening also outside. Though the president didn't touch much on it, where do South Africa go forward, especially when we're seeing these anti-migrant sentiments all over, but the president is speaking about the integration?
It's good that you've referred to it as protest, because it's not... South Africa does not have a policy against migrants. South Africa has not adopted an anti-migrants policy as a country. We have a section of our community that's protesting against illegal immigration. Like all other countries, we have laws that must be respected and observed. At the same time, the government has been quite firm that it only, as a government, has the power to ascertain people's immigration status, and that we will manage immigration as a challenge together with the rest of the sub-region, together with the rest of the continent. It's not a South Africa problem only. It's a continental challenge that the continent must deal with. And one of the ways to address the issues of migration is to ensure that we accelerate economic development across the continent.
That was the president's spokesperson speaking to us just about the speech that we had from His Excellency, that is President Cyril Ramaphosa, also outlining South Africa's priorities for this year's summit and as they take over the chairmanship. But also, like I said, there is a protest that is happening outside. Anti-migrant groups are outside protesting, saying that these regional leaders that are here should go back to their countries with their people that are here in South Africa. But so far, so good. The summit is ongoing. We are expecting that there will be closed doors discussions, and migration might be one of those topics on the agenda here. But we keep a tab on what is happening here, and later maybe for the closing ceremony, and also just to hear what these discussions will be all about. Perpetual.
Thank you so much, Bongani Sisiba, for giving us that sort of summary, especially talking about those who are protesting and saying that the leaders in the room should go back to their respective countries with their countrymen who are in South Africa. We'll see how that pans out, of course. Thank you so much, and we'll definitely keep in touch. Thank you.